Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful empowered harmonizers. We are zooming in and focusing in on a great viewer question, and that was, why am I so glued to and attracted to this narcissist, this psychopath, whoever we're going to put a label on, this individual who has hurt me so? Why am I so attracted to them? Why am I so fixated, obsessing on them despite what has happened? So we're going to zoom in and focus in and answer on that question today. And it's to understand that oftentimes the narcissist, the malignant narcissist, or the psychopath, because of their neurochemistry, the way their brain wires and fires, they are generally different. They have a personality disorder or an antisocial personality disorder, whoever it is, boy or girl that you're dealing with. There is a different psychological composite or makeup to this individual, which is different from you. So yes, we oftentimes admire others because they are different from us. So that is the part of it. But oftentimes you are attracted because this person possessed qualities with which you felt that you did not have within yourself. So there's an experience or an essence that this person completed me. And then if you are, that they completed me, in other words, that they have certain qualities that you felt that you did not have, that they helped to rounded you out. It could be a talent, it could be a humor, it could be money, it could be a position, it could be their looks, it could be their friends, whatever it is, they had something that originally you felt helped complete you and you admired. Now, when you're talking about, this is a general, of course, way to, to bond and connect with others. We're interested in others' experience. What happened? How did you deal? How did you survive? Oh, I know someone here. You start making connections with others. That is the foundation of human relationships. And then it helps you because you help one another to learn and to grow and experience things. And you expand and you enhance your experience. But when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, a covert narcissist, a malignant narcissist, or an antisocial personality disorder, a psychopath, these individuals have a different, personality composite, oftentimes, which is typified by having a lack of empathy, and then a state of grandiosity or superior self-importance, where they feel superior to others, or in the state of the antisocial personality disorder, the psychopath, they have a lack of emotion, a lack of conscience, a lack of startle response. So they truly do not respond and react to situations the way the norm of others would. So they do not resonate emotions. They do not resonate fear. They do not experience this same quality. They do not have this experience with others. So oftentimes they're very numb. They're anesthetized. They're very much they very much engage with horrific situations in a different way than most people do. So where most people would be shocked, alarmed, their fight or flight, they don't enter into that state. They are, and as in the book, they're talking the psychopath test by journalist John Robson. He talks about the hair experiment and how they really began the foundations of describing particular psychopathy and defining what made it an antisocial disorder. And one of their tests, was the fact that these individuals, their amygdala and their central nervous system does not react to scenes of violence, of horror, of cruelty in the way that most people do. So most people will get startled, alarmed, fearful, oh my God, they have this natural response built into their wiring and firing. Now in the psychopathy, they don't physiologically have the same response. So as a viewer stated, yes, the amygdala is not working. Their central nervous system is not working in the same way. They do not respond with that startle response. So especially people who perhaps have experienced a lot of anxiety or vulnerability, or they have this whole plethora of emotions such as affection, love, kindness, wanting to help others, that sweet spot, the greatest people, you meet them and you say, oh my God, that person is so sweet. That person is so kind. That person is so loving. That person is has a naivete about them. They have a carelessness. They have a free spirit. These are the people who the psychopath just goes, it's like a target. They're just going booyah, mother lode. They're just saying, these are the people that I can easily scope out. This is like the landslide for them, because they see that these people would never suspect them of not having the same experience or richness of emotion that they do. So they're able to easily just be with them, i.e. target them, and take whatever it is that they need from them. It can be companionship, sex, business contacts, but oftentimes you are attracted to these types because they do not react the same way that you do. So oftentimes when you feel that this person completed you, if you look back, you can ask yourself right now, what was it that really attracted me to this person? Was it their good looks? Was it the fact that they didn't respond the way that most people do? That they were bold, crass, and cruel? Or they had ice water running through their veins, that they could handle things so differently than you did, and that they were your strength, or you felt that they were your rock because they reacted differently than most people do? So they really had kind of assimilated this position of superiority in your mind because they were so brazen, they were so bold, they were callous, they were sardonic, they had a sense of humor, or their charm caused them to violate boundaries or violate standards and then rise up. In other words, they were then got acclaimed, they got supported for this. In other words, they got ahead by getting more relationships with people like you to surround them. See, that's what ends up happening is you end up becoming transfixed because there's something addictive about the quality that this person, either, in the psychopathy, usually because of this lack of startle response, these individuals do not cave in. They do not feel guilt. They do not feel remorse. They handle things with a real eerie calm that most people would be, startled by. For example, your pet was put to sleep. Unbeknownst to you, you came home and your dog was gone. Most people would be like, well, where is Fido? You'd be like running around the house, where is Felix, the cat? I mean, you'd be like, and then if someone would just be like, well, I put it to sleep because I didn't have any more food. The psychopath would just be kind of like, they would have no reaction. Whereas most people would be like, are you kidding me? That's my pet. They have a sense of attachment and bonding. The psychopathy states that they don't have this connection, and so they have this very eerie calm. And then furthermore, this goes on to help you understand that when they cheat on others, when they have duplicitous relationships with others behind their back, they don't feel any sort of connection. Having hurt you, having abandoned their children, they don't feel anything. It's just, if anything, they feel justified. And so you can understand with compassion that this person literally has an anomaly about how their brain wires and fires, just like with the malignant narcissist who feels this sort of grandiose, superiority. This is how they feel. You cannot change them. If they lack the empathy, they lack that sensitivity to you. That is what it is. And so oftentimes people they're glued to them because they can't comprehend how this person could do this and then not have a closure or not have an explanation. So you cannot really have closure with this person. It's almost like you're in a state of shock. Oftentimes it's a state of shock, and so you can't, neurologically you're in the stress hormones, and you're wondering if you're ever going to experience this again. So then the defense mechanisms come up. Your DNA is trying to provide a solution so that this doesn't happen again. So the defense mechanisms, the hyperarousal, in other words, you're still hyper vigilant, and still trying to figure this out. So really, if you're in the analysis, you do need to learn, but you need to calm down and say, oh my God, I am fixated on this because it was so horrific. I literally need to pull away, and no matter what the lure, the magnetic pull, which oftentimes you can feel it magnetically, where you can feel it from your gut pulling you out, you need to say, that is a clue to me. I absolutely positively need to not give this any attention. When they call it the psychopathic gaze, or, where you feel that people, experience it as soul vampirism. You can literally feel, yourself being pulled out of you. That is a key indicator that you need to pull yourself back and get the HELL out of there and not interact with this person. And it's very serious because this person will harm you. This is just what they do. It's just like expecting a cobra to be a furry kitten. If you're expecting that, you need to really check in within yourself and say, whoa, I need to get clear. A cobra is a cobra. I'm not fighting the fangs. I'm out of here. So period, end of story. Just let them go. And with forgiveness, compassion, go on to the light, brother or sister. I am moving forward and I am protected. I am safe and I am wise now, the better for it. And I have learned that there are this type of individual in the world. No one told me this. I experienced this firsthand. So you give yourself kind of that aha moment. This is what I've experienced. And so now it's important for me to take my gut, my feeling, my heart, and stop the obsession, stop the asphyxiation of yourself, because it is like an asphyxiation. These individuals, the way they interact with others is just very objectified. It's very much just like, if they broke your hand, if they broke your neck, they would just be like, well, I pushed too hard and their neck broke. I pushed too hard and their heart broke. This is how they assimilate. Do not think like them. It's just best to get away 100% with all your senses. Your body, peace, and harmony. I hope these videos help. Please share. Please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. Close it off.